So have my husband and I ruined our daughter for life in regards to intimacy and marriage, or can we salvage the mess we made, especially since we have 5 more kids after her?
Okay, I want to stop you right there. The
Okay.
answer to that is yes. Okay? Period. End of story. And I want you to never use the word salvage again.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
You may have done things in a different way. You may have had like boundaries, and you may have talked about stuff in a certain way, and you're seeing it lived out. But nobody's a car wreck.
Yep.
Okay? Nobody is a scrapped heap of metal that you have to try to take a hammer to and ping back into a new shape. Okay?
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah. Yep, that's cool.
All right. So I don't even know what we're talking about here. So go ahead. But yes. The answer is yes.
Okay.
Everybody's redeemable.
All right. Awesome. That's wonderful to hear. Sorry, I didn't realize I was going to react that way.
No, you're okay. You're okay.
Okay. All right. So the question, I guess, comes from conversations we've had with her recently. She's 16.
Okay.
And my husband and I have been married for 19 years, and we're kind of the sappy, like, never stopped being newlyweds couple.
Awesome. Okay.
And we are very open with talking with our kids about intimacy, about relationships, about, just all of the things that are, the birds and the bees and all of those things. We've never made it taboo in our home. But I grew up in a home that was very taboo.
Okay.
And so part of my concerns come from thinking that I might have overcompensated and been maybe too open. But my husband grew up in a more, I guess, not taboo home, but it was more, he was just kind of left to explore things on his own. So we're stumbling about because this is the first time we've raised kids, and we've got 16-year-old, and it moves down from there. Our youngest is 2, and so we've had conversations with our oldest 3, 11, 14, 16, and my 16-year-old just seems to feel like, some of her conversation will come out with I can't stand the thought of being forced to be naked with somebody. And she says things like, can I get married and adopt kids and not share a room with my husband? Things like that. And so, I'm just trying to figure out if this is normal. I don't know, because I didn't grow up with that. We didn't have conversations like this. And I'm trying to not, I don't want to take it personally but there's sometimes when she talks that I feel like she almost thinks that Jake and I, or that my husband and I are gross. Listen, if a 16-year-old sees their parents dancing and smooching in the kitchen, and they're like, oh yeah, I can't wait, then I would tell you, y'all should probably go see somebody pretty quick. Okay.
Right? They're supposed to look at their parents and go, oh gosh, gross. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
I guess, I don't expect her to think we're all cool and everything like that. Some of the things she says makes me worry that she's have we instilled a fear in her that we didn't intend to do when we talked to her about intimacy and relationships?
just hearing the term 9 to 5 can be a drag. So my friends at Cozy Earth are here to help make your 5 to 9 way more comfortable. I love Cozy Earth's pants and all-day t-shirts. They're soft, breathable, and super tough. And my wife loves her pajamas, and my whole family loves Cozy Earth sheets. They're super comfortable, and they keep us cool when it's hot outside. Try them risk-free for 100 nights. You can save 40% off your entire order at cozyearth.com/Delony.
Have we instilled a fear in her that we didn't intend to do when we talked to her about intimacy and relationships?
I think it is way too premature.
Okay.
Way too premature. Because take the flip side. You've listened to this show. I've taken the exact opposite call.
Yeah.
I have a 16-year-old who's super sexually active. We think we ruined our kid. Right? And so I don't know many parents who look at their 16-year-olds. I have a 15-year-old son. And I don't know any maybe they exist. I don't know any parents that looks at being at their teenage kids and they're like, I'm crushing this. Right?
Yeah, no, not at all.
And so I obviously, out of respect for my son, I'm not going to talk about our personal things, but there's philosophical things we discuss. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Did you grow up in the same house I've been living in for 50, right? And here's the thing. I want him to explore the boundaries of some of those feelings and some of those things. And can I just tell you this? The fact that you have a 16-year-old who will open up to you about this stuff means y'all are crushing it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And some 16-year-olds are super curious about what it would feel like to have somebody's hands on their body. And some 16-year-olds are super curious about what would it feel like to give birth. And some 16-year-olds are like, the thought of somebody's hands on me makes me tense up. And there's not I would just tell you as mom and dad, exhale. Okay? I'm way more worried about a kid absorbing the tension of the interaction than I am about a 16-year-old exploring their 16-year-old thoughts.
Okay. My daughter is absolutely brilliant and amazing and beautiful, and I absolutely love our midnight conversations, even when she comes in after I'm already asleep and she just wants to talk. And I never had that growing up, so it's something that I treasure with her. And so it's just one of those things where it's like some of the thoughts that she comes up with are just like, they're so opposite to what I thought at her age, and I'm not expecting her to be a carbon copy of me.
No, in fact, here's the thing. You've been very intentional about her not becoming a carbon copy of you.
Yeah.
And so let's celebrate the fact that she's thinking about things, and more importantly, she is knocking on your door at midnight.
Yeah.
I can't think of a greater gift for a kid than knowing I have some crazy thoughts. It's midnight. I'm going to go talk to my mom.
Yeah.
That's magic. And to your 16-year-old, if you let her listen to this, good for keep going to your mom and dad for some of these crazy conversations.
Yeah.
And you've given your kid, at least your oldest kid, an avenue that is we're a safe place for you to land with all of your bananas thoughts.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I love it. I love it. And so, yes, I don't know a parent that has a kid that comes in and is open with them that they don't go, oh gosh. And most of that is because we don't remember the thoughts that we had when we were 16. We think we do, but we don't really.
I have 13 years of journals, actually. So
oh, well, okay. So
you
may actually have them written down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you and I both know that we made some really strong proclamations when we were 16.
Yeah.
And then reality happened to our life. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing you've already had these conversations, but I always want, when a 16, 17, 18-year-old draws really firm, and I would say very specific boundaries, I don't want a man's hand on my body.
Yeah.
The thought of being next to a man makes me physically ill.
Yeah.
I am going to ask different questions.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened before? Has anyone ever made you feel uncomfortable before?
Yep.
And no matter how good our relationships are with our kids, it's without a doubt, other than telling somebody that your kid has passed away, which I've had to do, by far the worst is telling parents, sitting with a child, it's a child, but they're a teenager or a college student, sitting with them, telling their parents, this happened to me, and the parents literally have no idea.
Yeah.
Right? And so if somebody's drawing very specific boundaries, I will have that extra conversation. Yeah. And I will have that. By the way, I've had that with my 9-year-old. I've just been to too many of those meetings, too many of those conversations that I'm going to have those conversations regardless.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've actually had that sit down conversation with her at a couple different phases in her life.
Great.
But
amazing.
Recently bringing that up and asking her, has that happened? Do you feel uncomfortable around certain men or even women? Are there people who make you feel uncomfortable, and have you been touched inappropriately? Those types of things. So we have asked those questions.
Can I just tell you, dude,
no.
You're hitting this out of the park.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm failing most days.
You know why? Because you're a parent. Well, no, worse. Men feel like that every second of every day, but there's less of the industrial complex that's against men is just like, y'all just suck. Y'all are just the worst. The industrial guilt complex that is leaned up against women is you can't win. There's no way to win.
Yeah.
If you talk too much, you're going to ruin your kids. If you don't talk, you're going to ruin your kids. By the way, why aren't you working? We worked really hard for you to be able to have a full-time job because your only worth is the money you bring in. Oh, you're just going to let other people raise your kids? Wow. What a terrible, you can't win.
Yeah.
Right? What I don't want you to do, and this is me, this is the pot talking to the kettle here, okay? I don't want our existential angst about our quote-unquote performance as parents. I don't want our kids to ever feel like they have to hold that up because they can't carry that weight.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? And so maybe laughingly or cryingly or a mixture of both, tell our kids, every parent feels like they could be doing a better job. And all of that comes from one thing. We just want our kids to grow up and have a great life.
Yeah.
And it's not your job, 16-year-old daughter of mine, to prop that up for me. And you can smile and say, I thought that too when I was 16. And then your dad walked by and, oh yeah. And she's like, gross, right?
Yeah.
Part of it, right?
Yeah.
But man, you're checking every box I have for a parent who's trying to be the best parent of a 16-year-old girl heading into womanhood that I can imagine.
Thank you.
That you're giving your daughter a real picture of a woman who loves her husband. You're giving her a real picture of, I like it when he kisses me, so there you go. I like it when he hugs me in the kitchen. And if he's being too gropey, there's a point when it gets too much.
Oh, yeah.
And and there's a point when I like to pull away and go hang out with my girlfriends. And hey, daughter, no matter what you're going through, I'm a safe place for you.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'll speak to your 16-year-old. 16-year-old, if you're hearing this and there are things you haven't told your mom, if she's a safe person, I want you to talk to her about it. And if she's not, your job as a 16-year-old is to find an adult that you trust that you can have some of these conversations with. But Beth, it sounds like you're crushing it.
Thank you.
Pretty awesome.